Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready for some absolutely massive news that could change everything for millions of Americans, especially seniors, low-income earners, and people on fixed incomes. Today, we're diving into something that's lighting up the internet, heating up the headlines, and stirring major buzz in the nation's capital. That's right, we're talking about the $2,000 fourth stimulus check and a fresh wave of updates that could mean real money is headed straight into your bank account. If you're on Social Security, Ssdi, SSI, VA benefits, or struggling with low income, this update is for you. So take a breath, sit tight, and let's unpack what might be the most explosive financial twist of the year. Because in the middle of rising costs, economic uncertainty, and ongoing inflation, a glimmer of hope is finally starting to shine. And it comes in the form of a brand new, targeted $2,000 stimulus relief that could very well be on its way. But what's real, what's speculation, and what do you absolutely need to know before it's too late? Stick around till the end, you won't want to miss a second of this one. Now, let's rewind the clock just a little bit. Remember those first 3 stimulus checks? They came at a time when Americans were desperate for relief. And although they made a difference, for many it just wasn't enough. The pandemic fallout, supply chain issues, skyrocketing rent prices, it all piled up. And for seniors living off Social Security, it's been especially hard. A COLA increase that didn't stretch far enough. Groceries that now cost twice as much. Gas prices that feel like highway robbery. But here's the twist. Lawmakers are once again feeling the heat. The pressure is back on. Why? Because the people are speaking. Phone lines are flooded. Petitions are going viral. Advocacy groups are turning up the volume. And believe it or not, there's a growing push, yes, once again, for a 4th round of stimulus checks, with a bold proposal calling for a $2,000 direct payment. Let's talk about where this idea is coming from. Recently, a group of progressive lawmakers introduced a framework that could reopen the stimulus debate. They're pointing to rising poverty rates, especially among seniors and disabled individuals. They're calling attention to the fact that millions of Americans are being left behind. Not because they're lazy, but because they've worked their whole lives and now can't keep up. It's a quiet crisis, and the government knows it. Now here's the juicy part. Insiders say there's growing support for targeted stimulus relief that would prioritize Americans on Social Security, Ssdi, SSI, and VA benefits. Why? Because data shows that these individuals are the most affected by inflation. They're the ones skipping meals. They're the ones choosing between medicine and rent. And the government is watching. So is there really a $2,000 check coming? Let's break it down. First off, this $2,000 proposal isn't just floating around Reddit threads and Twitter posts anymore. It's showing up in letters to Congress, think tank white papers, and media interviews with lawmakers. Now, to be clear, nothing is officially signed yet. But the fact that it's even being talked about at this level, after such a long silence, is huge. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Multiple states are jumping ahead of the federal government, launching their own relief programs. In California, some residents are still receiving state stimulus boosts. In Colorado and New Mexico, local tax rebate checks are being issued. These programs prove one thing loud and clear. The government has the tools and the precedent to make more payments happen. And people are asking, if the states can do it, why can't Washington? Now let's talk about the 4 groups most likely to benefit if this $2,000 check becomes a reality. Social Security retirees who have seen their cost of living adjustments vanish under inflation. Ssdi and SSI recipients who live on fixed monthly payments that barely cover the essentials. Low-income workers and families who earn below the poverty line and can't survive another economic shock. Veterans and disabled individuals who rely on benefits but are being squeezed by rising medical and housing costs. And get this, there are reports surfacing that the IRS has been prepping systems for rapid deployment of checks should Congress give the green light. Remember how fast those earlier stimulus checks hit your accounts? That was no accident. The infrastructure is in place. They've done it before, and they can do it again. Now here's the plot twist that's really raising eyebrows. A leaked memo, yes, a real memo reportedly circulating among staffers in D.C., suggests that direct economic relief is being considered as part of a broader 2025 economic resilience strategy. That strategy would include increasing federal aid for fixed-income Americans, launching new food and utility assistance programs, and yes, a direct payment of $2,000 to those most impacted by inflation. Nothing is confirmed yet, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's more. Multiple online platforms have been flooded with speculation that stimulus-type deposits have already shown up in some bank accounts. Are these early pilot programs? Overpayments? State-based refunds? Nobody seems to know for sure, but the buzz is real. People are sharing screenshots, and while it may not be federal money yet, it's keeping the conversation alive. And that's why we need to keep the pressure on. If you or someone you know is on Social Security, Ssdi, SSI, or VA benefits, this is your moment to speak up. Call your lawmakers. Share your story. Write letters. Let them know that Americans are watching and voting, and they remember who had their backs during hard times. Let me be clear. This isn't about politics. It's about survival. It's about dignity. It's about making sure that our most vulnerable citizens don't fall through the cracks. And it's about reminding the government that when the people speak, they better listen. Now, if you've been watching this and wondering, when could this actually happen? Here's the possible timeline based on previous relief efforts. If discussions heat up over the summer, we could see a proposal enter the budget talks by fall. And if it gains enough traction, payments could realistically start going out by early 2025. That may sound far away, but in the world of government policy, that's lightning speed. So what can you do right now? First, stay informed. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on because we're watching this story unfold hour by hour. Second, share this video with anyone who needs to hear it. Knowledge is power, and we've got to spread the word. And third, don't lose hope. If you're struggling right now, you are not alone. There are millions of Americans just like you, fighting the same battles, facing the same challenges, and holding on to the same hope that help is finally coming. And with enough voices, enough pressure, and enough momentum, we just might see the $2,000 stimulus check become more than just a dream. This could be the spark we've been waiting for. So keep your heads high, your heart strong, and your eyes on the updates. And remember, this channel is always here to bring you the latest, the realest, and the most important financial news that matters to you. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.